All right, let's get this show on the road. What do you say, everybody? Thanks for for signing up and coming today. We got some good content here for you, right? So what we're going to learn about today is the new Google Business Profile, right? And specifically how to set it up and how to get found in Google local search, okay? So if everybody is ready, let's get started. All right, we'll just review our agenda real quick. So part one is the intro to Google Business Profiles, kind of a little bit about what it is and why it's important. Then we will run through how to set up and optimize your profile. Okay, so you can start getting found more easily online. Part three, we'll talk about generating client reviews, which builds credibility and the all-important what? Trust, that's right. And then part four, we will go through some of our best practices for promoting your listings, okay? Away we go. Okay, part one, what and why, okay? Part one will briefly review what a Google Business Profile is and why it's important for your business. Okay, according to current statistics, 81% of consumers said they read Google reviews. Okay, it's obviously in a massive amount of people. Also, what comes along with that is people don't trust companies or professionals with lower than 4-star ratings. Okay, the most common search filter that's applied when there's a Google search is to see only companies with 4-star ratings and higher. Okay. So what exactly is a Google Business Profile? Well, formerly known as Google My Business, a Google Business Profile provides business owners with an opportunity to showcase their business on the most visited search engine on the internet, okay? And here are some of the benefits, right? A, get your business on the map, right? So when somebody Googles you, you show up there. Share quality and accurate information about your business. Generate client reviews, right? Which does what again? Builds trust, okay? Create a good first impression online and obviously get found by potential clients, right? All good things. I assume everybody agrees. Awesome. Okay. So consider your business profile, kind of as the first impression of your business and your brand online, right? We certainly want to control that first impression, and what someone's first impression is about us. I assume, just like I do, most of us, right? You guys look up other businesses on Google all the time, right? I know I do, my family does, right? And of course, your potential clients are doing the same thing, whether you know it or not. They are out there, they're looking at you, maybe they referred to you or something like that. They're going to go check you out online and kind of see what else they can find, right? I guess the question then really becomes is, what do they find when they go out there, right? And that's why it's important to have this profile set up and to be managing it yourself so that you can kind of make sure that you know what people are looking at, right? So why spend the time to create one of these profiles? Well, here's what Google will tell you. Number one, it's free marketing, right? There's no cost for this service. So obviously we all love to take advantage of free, right? It's easy to use, right? Just a few clicks here and there, you get yourself up and running. You can adjust and, make changes whenever you want. And it's personalized to you and your brand, right? So 3 good reasons why we should start this and, get going on it ASAP. Okay. Now, specifically why it's important for real estate is 1, you can promote your listings, right? Share photos and videos of your listing on your Google profile. So it's right there when people search and they can see it, right? Number 2, clients can leave reviews, which helps build that local, trust and credibility, right? As we said, most people want to look at a company that has 4 stars or above, right? I can tell you, my wife says, hey, let's go out to dinner. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Let's try somewhere new, right? We're on Google. We're looking around. If it's a 3.5, we're not going to that restaurant, right? Similarly, if we're out there looking for a real estate agent or any other kind of professional, we're going to be looking for someone who has, a good rating on there, right? So this is a great place for us to generate and house those reviews. And then 3, you can actually monitor insights and see different statistics like how many people have viewed your profile, what the demographics are, and more, right? So that'll kind of help you in thinking about what you're putting out and how you can kind of speak to the market that you're looking to speak to. Okay, so that was like the what and the why, right? So part 2 here, we're going to go and walk through how to create and then optimize your Google business profile, right? Some of us might already have one, but they need to be optimized. Some of us have never done it before. So, we'll kind of start from the beginning. Everybody ready? Here we go. Okay. Right. So creating the profile is pretty easy. You do need a Gmail account to have a business profile. So if you don't have a Gmail account, just hop on, Google, Gmail, create an account, super easy. You don't necessarily have to use it as your email provider, but you do have to have a Google account to sign into a Google business profile. All right. So everyone out there have a Google account. If you don't, easy to set up, right? But for those of you who do, very good. All right. So step 1, we're going to go to www.google.com/business. And then step 2, we're going to click we're going to hit manage now. Now, if you've already have a business profile with Google, when you click manage now, Google will open your dashboard. Okay. And it's going to look like this, right? And I'll move myself out of the way there. So your dashboard kind of looks like this. If you have that profile created, you're automatically logged in to the business profile manager. You'll see the icons and cards. That's how you manage your profile and updates, get reviews, more on this later as we keep going. In the future, you can just enter your business name in Google search to reach the same page, right? If you're logged into your Google account. So super easy to get there. And I also will mention too, right? If anybody has questions as we kind of go along or whatnot, write them down. You can put them in the chat. We have Kelly from our office here who's with us, who will kind of go through some of those at the end and let me know what you guys are thinking. So just keep an eye on that chat feature, and you can kind of put any of your questions in there. Okay. So is this making sense so far, right? Google.com/business, either find yourself or log in. Kelly, if we could just get somebody's mic shut off, please. Thanks. And so we'll keep everybody muted so we don't kind of have that interference. So if you don't have a Google business profile created yet, or Google can't locate your business, simply follow the prompts, right? So you're going to enter your business name. Next, we want to select the service business as your business type and hit next, okay? As a real estate agent, you serve a number of hyperlocal areas. Being set up as a service area business gives you the opportunity to rank for city searches outside of your own city, right? So we know we do a bunch of hyperlocal areas. Some of you guys might be doing 1 or 2 counties, some are 1 or 2 towns, some will go, the whole state, things like that. So it's really important that you select service business for your Google business profile. Okay. Next up is entering a business and category. This is very, very important. Okay. You can have multiple business categories. Might seem obvious to select real estate agents as your primary category. However, Google tends to favor ranking businesses categorized as real estate agency over real estate agent. Okay. So therefore, I'd probably list real estate agency as the primary category, and then add real estate agents, real estate consultants, and any other thing they have up there as a subcategory. Okay. You definitely want to put in as many categories as you can, but let's make sure we're listing that real estate agency as the number 1. As you can see, we use the search best realtor in Las Vegas. 2 out of the top 3 rankings have real estate agency, as you can see here, as the category, right? So let's stick with that real estate agency, and we'll add, agents and consultant as the subcategories, all right? That was your first bonus tip of the day, right? So let's make sure that we're, paying attention, and we're going to put real estate agency as that category, okay? And you can edit the categories at any time, right? So even if you think something might not be working for you, or a new category comes out, or you offer another service, just hop right into your dashboard, and add that category as well. So if someone searches for that, you have the potential of being found, okay? The next step is to enter your business address, all right? And one thing that we want to make sure here is that your business name matches up across the web, okay? Same as your business address. It should be the same everywhere it's listed online, right? So in other words, if you abbreviate your business address with AV at the end of the street name, you're going to want to make sure that you have it AV everywhere you are, right? Anywhere that you put your address, keep it the same. Similar to, you know, Patty Smith Realtor, that you're going to want it to say Patty Smith Realtor, you know, everywhere you are, right? If you're Instagram, Facebook, all kinds of stuff like that. Because Google will see that and they'll start to recognize you as the same person. And that will help you get more searches and, you know, more eyeballs your way, okay? The next thing that's going to happen here then is Google is going to want to attempt to match its records with your input, right? So it'll ask you, hey, is this your business? If it is, you select it. If it's not your business, you collect this, you know, select this does not match, okay? After you have your business either selected or you say, hey, it doesn't match, you enter it in, you're going to want to put in your contact details. This is certainly going to be your mobile phone, okay? You definitely want a local number. That's going to help with searches, right? So if you've got a phone number that's like out of area code, you might want to consider maybe changing it or having a forwarding service with using a local number, because that will help you show up in the services. And be searchable more easily on Google, right? And by the way, if you put in your phone number and someone dials it and you don't answer, Google knows about that, right? So it's going to understand and know the people who pick up their phone more regarding their business hours and their phone number that's listed on Google. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're picking up that phone, right? We all should probably be doing it as mortgage professionals and real estate agents. You know, but just make sure that you guys are picking up those phones, okay? Step 2, you add your website URL, okay? Now that we have, you know, that complete, we're going to want to opt in to receive personalized emails and notifications, read the terms and conditions, click continue. All right. Simple enough, right? That is the basics of getting your profile set up. Super easy. Just a little bit of information about you and your business that you're going to enter in to create that business profile, right? But the business profile is not going to get you where you need to go unless you optimize it. Okay. So now that we have our profile set up, we're kind of ready to go. Oh, this is exciting. You know, we're on the map where, you know, here we are, John Smith Realtor. I'm rocking and rolling. Now that we have the basics there, it's time to optimize this profile, okay? So this is where you could really greatly improve your results with a Google business profile, all right? Who's ready? Show of hands, who's ready to go? All right, awesome. Let's do it. Okay, the next step here is to get verified by Google, okay? So in the past, you were only able to verify via postcard, right? Seems a little archaic and ancient, right? Maybe we'll send a carrier pigeon. I don't know if the Pony Express is still working. But luckily, Google has kind of improved over time here. So now you can select other verification options, which may include a phone call, video chat, verifying your business number and business listing through other sources. Just follow the prompts to kind of complete that, right? But if you run into any trouble, you know, go ahead and try it again, you know, use different methods to try and verify it, because being verified on Google is obviously a very big help when it comes to getting your name to pop up in local search, okay? After we have that taken care of, we're going to want to add our services to Google, right? What it is that we actually do. You'll see several options for real estate services. Select all of them that are relevant to you and add them, okay? If you don't see a specific service or something that you offer, you can select add custom service, right? But you say, you know, rentals, listings, you know, buyers, right? Put everything down that makes sense, and any other kind of service that you provide, you know, first-time home buyer seminar, whatever it is, add all that stuff on there. So if anybody's looking for that type of service, Google then can potentially match you up with them in the search function, okay? After that, you're going to want to add your business hours, right? How many times have we gone and searched for something and we see business hours, right, or 10 to 6, and then we call up and it says, hey, we're not open. We don't open till 12, right? Very frustrating. So the same thing is going to happen with your business hours, right? Do you answer the phone 24 hours a day? If you do, great. You know, you can put in 12 a.m. to, 12 a.m. every day. But I would say it's more important to select the hours that you actually are available, right? Because remember, if you got your mobile phone in there, and let's say you say I'm available from 10 to 8, if you get a phone call at 6 o'clock and you don't answer it, Google knows, right? So if you know you have set hours or hours where you can reasonably be expected to answer the phone and conduct some business, that's what you want to put in to the screen there, okay? Then you want to enable and select and enable direct messaging, right? That will let customers direct message you, right? So right from the Google page, they can hit message, that will flow through to you. So any way that we can kind of have a potential client or somebody who's looking to speak to us, reach out to us, we want to be able to do that, right? So definitely make sure you have those notifications and direct messaging set up, and that will allow those people to connect with you directly through the Google profile, right? They don't even have to, call a new number or get into another screen. They just hit message, right? And away we go. You can be contacted, which is great. The next step is to add your business description, okay? And again, this is going to be very important. You have a max of 750 words. The description should accurately describe the business and highlight the unique features and benefits to potential customers, okay? A well-written, keyword-rich description can help improve the visibility of your business in local search results and attract more customers, right? Which is what we're trying to do. We want to be shown when people are searching for a real estate agent in our area, and we want to attract those people to be able to call us or reach out, right? So we can help them. So here's a little example of a business description at 300 words. I don't know if any of you out there, was anyone out there on the ChatGPT class that we held a couple of weeks ago? Super informative, super helpful. But that's perfect for, for this, right? We actually asked ChatGPT to create this for me. I gave it specific prompts like, how many years I'm in business, local market knowledge, right? Relaxed and engaging tone. This happens to be an example of the third version, right? So we asked it to type something up. We said, hey, try it again, change this, change that, and ChatGPT spit this right out for you. For those of you who didn't attend that class, you can certainly get in touch with me after this, and we'll get you signed up for the next ChatGPT class as well. So you can kind of get to learn that system and how it can benefit you with your real estate. We had a lot of great feedback on that last class, and, people are already using the ChatGPT function to do things just like this, listing descriptions, business descriptions, and it's very helpful. Okay. So look for that class to come. And again, if you want to get more involved in learning about that, just let us know and we'll get some info out to you for sure. And we'll get you signed up on that next class. Okay. But enough of that. Back to our Google business profile, right? So you're going to want to add headshots, behind the scenes photos, team photos, photos of your listings, maybe clients at the closing, right? Anything like that. The more photos that you have in there, the more engaging that you become, the more content that Google sees that you have, and the more likely Google is to then show you on their search results, okay? Just keep adding photos and videos too. Don't be afraid to get those videos up there. The goal is to have a minimum of at least 10 photos, right? Now, I've seen people with hundreds of photos, 50 photos, 60 photos. Do what you can, right? But start with giving yourself a goal of getting at least 10 nice quality photos up there, and you can kind of take it from there, right? But, what are we talking about? The types of things that we can put up there, educational or explainer videos, maybe get to know you videos about you or your agency, your dog, right? Anything like that. Maybe some sample listing videos. And more, right? Anything you can kind of think of that might be helpful to someone, that might be some good content that you could put out there for them. And that's going to increase kind of your brand and your profile in Google's algorithm. Okay. When you're done, you hit continue. Okay. Until your account is verified, you may have some features unavailable to you. So, if you're going through this tomorrow and you say, hey, Greg, I don't understand. You said I'd be able to do this. you might not be verified yet. You know what I mean? Make sure you're going through that verification process and, you know, checking your email, your phone, two-factor, whatever it is that they're looking for on that particular day, so that, you know, you'll be verified and you'll have access to all of the, you know, kind of offerings that the Google Business Profile has for you as a real estate professional. Okay. Was that helpful, guys? Right? Is this kind of making sense to people out there? I certainly hope it is. You know, I had to go through it once or twice myself to make sure I knew, but you know, we kind of broke it down here for you to try and be as easy as possible. Okay. All right, let's get into some more pro tips, right? Anybody who wants some pro tips? I do. Okay, great. So did you know you can add products to the Google profile? You know what I mean? So, hey, well, what's an example of a product you sell as a real estate agent? Pretty self-explanatory, right? Homes. Yes, right? Homes. That's what you're selling, right? Somewhere to live, real property, co-ops, things like that. Okay. So products are a good place to showcase your active listings, right? Recent sales, offer buyer seller guides, and more. Okay. So you see the green arrow here, right? Right over here, right? For the products, that's where your products will show up, right? So if right here, we're looking at this FAR group in Spokane, right? And their products happen to be listings that they have at the time. Okay. That's the kind of things that you're going to want to put in that product, you know, in that kind of product area. To add the products, just go to your dashboard, right? You come right here, edit products. All right. You click that. When editing a product, you're going to enter the product name. You know, if it's a listing, give it a, you know, maybe descriptive name like updated bungalow or something relevant like that. Or maybe you could just call it the address if you're really trying to pump this specific house, right? Any product name that's relevant or that you think will draw eyeballs is what you can name it, right? Think maybe recently sold as another option to feature your past sales, right? That you're going to want to keep on there for a little while to show people the good work that you do. Okay. Create a new category as real estate. All right. You can enter in a price point. That's optional. You know, a lot of us like to do that. And then we're going to add a description and a photo, and we hit publish. Okay. Once that happens, our products will show up, right? So for example, you can add multiple listings, allowing people to click through them directly in your Google Business Profile, right? So someone's Googling, hey, realtor in, you know, in Nassau County, Long Island. You optimized your profile, you show up, now they click on you. Oh, here's some listings they have, and boom, immediately they're looking at, you know, looking at your listings, right? Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So when someone clicks on your listing, you know, product, whatever you want to call it, a page with more details is going to open up, as you see here, right? You can even add a link, as you see here, what these guys did, add a link to your website, right? So we're taking them now and driving them from just doing a search on Google, now connecting with you a little bit, kind of, oh, seeing a listing that you might have, they click on it, they get more interested in you and what you have to say and what's going on, and now you can direct them right to your website, right? So all this stuff, pretty cool, right? You don't have to be a Fortune 500 company to do this. This is out there and available for you right now, okay? Here's another little pro tip I got for you. Posts, okay? I think we're all pretty much used to social media. We at least get it, right? You're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, you know, Instagram, whatever the case may be, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, right? But you can kind of do the same thing with your Google Business Profile, all right? So you want to kind of think of these posts like content updates, okay? Makes sense, right? So here are some kind of update ideas that, you know, that you might have, right? Maybe you throw out some market stats, right? Something that recently happened, or you have your, you know, buyer and seller tips. Maybe there's an open housing, a new listing, right? Anytime you have some sort of new activity or something that you can say, you want to go ahead and do a post, do an update, that will kind of refresh with Google's algorithm, right? And you'll be seen as someone who is kind of, you know, you're still out there, you're active, right? You're engaging. And that's what Google wants to match people up with, right? If you've got a stale old site, a profile that hasn't been touched in a year, they're going to want to show somebody who's doing something yesterday, the day before, last week, before they show yours, okay? So you definitely want to make sure that you're doing all these little things to kind of keep yourself near and as close to the top of the ratings as you can. All right. How do we post the updates? Well, to post the updates, just select the add update option from that dashboard that we had been talking about, right? Each post should include a thumbnail image, right? That's important. That's something that Google tells us is important for trying to help make you guys show up, right? Should always have a link back to your website or a call now button, right? Some call to action so that if they're looking at your little update, hey, how do I get in touch with them? How do I get back to the website, right? That should all be in there. We think a best practice is really to set a goal to have, at least 3 content updates or posts per week. All right. That keeps you relevant. It keeps you fresh, and it keeps you in Google's top of mind. Okay. Here's kind of 3 different examples of what different content. This just happens to be from Agent Will Draper over in Wake Forest, North Carolina, right? So you can see example 1 over on the side here, spring homeowner tips, right? And just tells a little bit of stuff. Hey, what you want to do in the spring, right? Maybe clean out your gutters, this, that, whatever. Example 2, seller mistakes. And then example 3, right, we can see here is just a new listing, that they put on, right? So they put it onto MLS, then they go to the Google profile, put their product up there and send out an update. Hey, great news. We just had an update. Okay. You guys think you could do something similar to that, right? You've got some content there that you could put forward, right? And these are just a couple of ideas. Okay. But this is the type of thing that, Google's looking for, right? That they're looking for when they're looking to promote businesses. They want to see that people are, giving some content out and they can be engaged, and making sure that they're moving forward. Okay. Wrapping up part 3 here. Okay. Super important. All right. Client reviews, right? I'm sure, raise your hand. How important are client reviews? We all understand it, right? Client reviews, very important, right? But why and how, right? That's going to be important, right? We all know that they're a very, very critical piece to the puzzle in Google. Okay. It's important to generate client reviews to build trust, rapport, and credibility, right? Like we mentioned before, right? We talked about, the most common search filter on Google is only show me 4 and up. Okay. So it's going to be important to have reviews and to be relevant and to have them above that 4 mark, right? But so with a Google profile, our main goal is to show up in what's called the Google 3-pack, right? Or that first 3 results in your local area, right? That is what overwhelmingly people are going to click on, right? If you're 18 pages back because you haven't posted anything in 2 years and your profile stinks, right? No one's going to see you. But if you do what we're telling you here, get that profile tight, start to optimize it, what we're trying to achieve is getting to that Google 3-pack, okay? Those are the local search results, all right? So notice how the top 3 results here, right? If you can see, they all contain strong review counts, right? They've got a good amount of reviews, and those reviews are, dang near close to 5-star, if not 5-star. Okay. So our goal is to rank right there, ideally. Okay. So would you guys like to see how we can do that? Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it moving. All right. So 3 biggest factors in a Google business profile to rank in the top 3 or get found in local search, all right, are proximity, right? So this refers to how close the search user is to the local business based on the local user's location and browser information, okay? So that's why it's important that we're setting our areas properly, all right? Number 2 is relevance, all right? And that's how well your business information matches with the search query made by a user, right? So make sure we want to use those real estate related keywords in our business description. We want to make sure that our services, we've got a bunch of our services out there. We're selecting real estate agency as the, main business type, right? All of those things will build your relevance to Google, right? So obviously they're looking for someone, hey, this person's looking for a real estate agent near me. All right, here's all my people that are close. Now we're going to narrow that down to now these people are the most relevant, right? And then finally, we're going to go to prominence, okay? And what prominence refers to is how well known and established your business is in the eyes of Google, right? So Google's going to look at the number and the quality of your reviews, your content updates, and your overall online presence on other sites, including your own personal sites, social media, and real estate portals, Okay. So those are the top 3 that we really want to be focusing on in order to get our, get into that 3-pack, right? And get up to the top. Okay. Building prominence is really just a fancy way of saying, get more reviews, right? Another review never hurts, You can always have more reviews. We always want them to be positive for sure, but the more reviews that you get, the more prominence that you will have, and that will just drive more and more traffic to your business profile. It will have you show up quicker, right? So a couple of ways that you can increase your chances that we've found over the years, right? Of how, hey, say, what's my, sometimes I have a hard time. What do I do? Well, here's a couple of little, things that you can do, right? So when asking for reviews, timing is super important, right? We've all been through transactions and we understand that people's kind of excitement, it waxes and wanes, right? It gets high at certain points, it gets low at certain points. So you're going to want to make sure that you're asking for the review at those high points, right? So, what's one high point of a real estate transaction, right? So maybe accepted offer, right? Pre-approval, great. We're pre-approved. They're a little excited, right? Then they're hooked up with you guys. They're out there looking. Maybe they're a little bit discouraged, right? They get an offer. You don't want to ask for a review then. Now they get an accepted offer, right? They get pumped up. Holy cow, we got the accepted offer. That's great. We're going to have the inspector come in. Amazing. That's a high point. That could be a place that you ask for a review, right? Another great one is the closing table, right? So they get their accepted offer. They're excited. Oh, now they're getting into the mortgage process and they're waiting for their approval. They're getting a little nervous, right? What's going on with the appraisal? Oh my gosh, title's coming in, whatever. Oh my goodness, we're approved. That's fantastic, right? We have a clear to close, another high point. Oh, now we're coming down. When is it going to be scheduled? I don't know why the seller doesn't want to do it now, blah, blah. They get a little down again, maybe, right? And then boom, at the closing, when they're actually being handed the keys, that is the absolute high point of their excitement for a buyer or a seller, right? So that's really the best time to ask, right? But if you already got a great 5-star review at accepted offer, you're good to go, right? But if they're at the closing table, and we have several, loan officers here who like to do this and they're wildly successful with it, right? They're not typically, at the closing like the real estate agent is, right? Our guys will actually call the client during the closing and say, hey, how's everything going? Oh, Mike, everything's going great. Can't thank you enough. You go, well, I got something I can do for you right now. While the attorneys are passing papers around and title's doing their thing or whatever, do me a favor. I just sent you a link. Hop on, do a review for me right now. Oh, no problem. We got you. I'll do it right now. Awesome, right? You send the link right there, have them do it, right? You're sitting right next to them at the closing table very often as a real estate agent. Pull it right up on your phone, hand it over to them. Hey, do me a favor. Can you write me that 5-star review right now? Have them do it right there. They're going to be much more willing to do that than they are a day later, 2 days later, 5 days later, right? When they're in the house and they realize, oh, the broom closet's a little smaller than I thought. I can't fit my XYZ in there. You know what I mean? So get them while they're super happy. Get them while they're excited, right? That's at those high points, okay? A couple other things that you can do, you can create a monthly email campaign asking some past clients that haven't left a review, to leave a review, sometimes in exchange for something. Maybe there's like a monthly drawing of a gift card. Hey, any past clients that leave a review, a 5-star review for me this go round, are going to get a, $20, Starbucks gift card, right? Or whatever. Get people engaged a little bit, right? So if you didn't get them originally, or if you have a bunch of old clients that, you can get reviews from at this point, right? We want to build our practice. We might have to go back in time a little bit to get those people to come on and leave some reviews to kind of build our prominence there. That's kind of one thing that you can do, right? You're going to want to make sure your Google review link, which you can find right in your dashboard. Right, go to your dashboard. That'll show you where your Google review link is. Make sure it's easily accessible, right? Add it to your signatures. Have it on your website, right? Have it in your social feeds. Always have that review link available, because when they're ready to go, if they can't find it, they move on, right? So we want to make sure that it's easy for them to do, okay? And another great practice here that'll keep you, more relevant and take your prominence to another level will be to make sure that you're responding to reviews, whether they're positive or negative, right? You got a great 5-star review. Hey, awesome. Thank you so much. Loved that you enjoyed our service, Sharon. So happy for you and the family. rock and roll. Thanks a lot, right? And even if somebody has something slightly negative to say, I thought it took too long, and they said, hey, thanks for leaving the review. I'm glad we were able to, connect offline and talk and go through some of your disappointments or whatever it is, but, I'm glad I was able to service you. And obviously, where to reach me. You can always come back for more, right? So you don't want to just, talk to the negatives. You don't want to just talk to the positives. You want to talk to everybody, right? Give people the thanks. You are the one who's asking them for a review. You should definitely thank them for it. At a hey, thanks for the review. It was great doing business with you. Can't wait for the next one, right? But don't be afraid of those negative ones either. Okay. So let's get into some best practices, all right, that'll help kind of improve our results, okay? A little bit more, right? We got a few more minutes here, guys. Everybody with me? Very cool. All right, we're just about done here, okay? Let's see what we got going on, right? So your name, your brand, and your bio should be consistent everywhere. Okay, that's what helps these computer learning models and these algorithms know it's you and realize that it's the same person and it's not, something fugazi. All right. So the verbiage, the photos, the contact info shared on your Google business profile should match all of your other services here. Right. Does this make sense, guys? Right. So if you're, Ashley Peterson Promo Realty LLC, you should always be Ashley Peterson Promo Realty LLC. Okay, so don't call yourself just Ashley in one place. Don't leave off your, Promo Realty in other places like that, right? Obviously, some places will have different ways that they kind of, view it, but you can see here, very consistent. Ashley Peterson Promo Realty, LLC. And she's got that everywhere she goes, right? Keeping it consistent, very important for these algorithms, okay? Right, makes sense for everybody out there. You see where we're going with this? Awesome. Okay. You kind of want to treat your Google business profile like you would any other social media platform, right? This is a social platform. People go on Google constantly, right? So if you post content on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, put that on Google too, right? Because generally people are going to go on Google to search for you. They're not going to go on Instagram to search for you. Right? Google is the place where they're going to search first. So if you're putting something out somewhere else, add it as a content update, right? Take that same information, put it on Google, right? That's going to help you, okay? This is going to include property listings, open houses, closings, right? Market updates and more, right? Anything that you can really kind of think of that you're putting out there that makes sense for your business, right? Makes sense for you as a real estate agent, put it on there, okay? You got to keep building that relevance. You got to keep building to get to that top three there. Okay. Let's get into insights a little bit. Okay. So the Google Business Profile Insights will give you a clear indication of your audience demographics, how often you show up in search and more. Okay. So what you can do is with this knowledge, you can alter your content to better serve your target audience, right? So if you see that you're, targeting people that are in a certain industry or certain age groups and this and that, you can do one of two things. Say, okay, one, that's great. I'm reaching the people I want to. Let me make sure that I'm building content and putting things out that are relevant to that group of people, right? And at the same time, if you're not reaching the people that you want to reach, kind of look at it and say, all right, well, if I'm putting out X, Y, and Z, maybe I need to change how I'm doing it or what I'm saying to attract a different demographic, okay? And the Google Insights page is where you will find some of this info where you can start to kind of think about, hey, who am I reaching? What am I doing? And how can I improve, okay? You can find this in your dashboard under performance, okay? So in your dashboard performance, that's where you will find your insights here, okay? Great. So listen, if you guys are, looking to gain some further knowledge on how to optimize your profile, right? Or, have a simple question, you can certainly contact me, but, you can also go to the Google help link, right? It's right here, google.com/business/facts. They'll have some information on here, just like we did, about how you can make your profile a little bit more robust, or if you're having a little technical issue with something like that, they should be able to help you out there as well. They are certainly amazing at it. Okay. So let's, we'll do a little bit of a recap of what we did today. Okay. But Number one, right? We talked about the intro to the having a Google business profile, right? How it impacts your business, that what and why, right? Who understands that? Good. 2 hands up. I love it. All right. Part two, we took a look at the setup, right? And then more importantly, how to optimize your profile to improve your Google relevance and actually get found in that local search. Okay. Part three, we unpacked reviews to build credibility and improve the prominence ranking, right? Super important. And then number four right here, right, was the best practices for promoting your listings and getting found on Google, okay? So guys, right, that was it. Super simple, super easy. Certainly glad that everybody came. You might want to go through it another once or twice, right, as you're doing it or whatnot to, really get the full effect. But, at this point, I would like to kind of open it up to the floor for any questions. So if anybody has any questions, I don't know, Kelly, if anybody put anything into the chat or if anybody wants to kind of say something, just, do a hand raise in the Teams function there. It should be at the top of the screen, and then Kelly can kind of call on you, and we'll take kind of any questions that you guys have right now.
Yes, we do have a question from Lori. Lori, your question was earlier on in the presentation. If you would feel free to just unmute yourself and elaborate on your question.
So I think it was in creating the business profile. So I am not a brokerage. I'm in with a brokerage. So I would be advertising for them on the Google page, but they already have a Google profile business page. So how do I do it to separate myself by adding them with their agent at their agency? Is that something?
No. So, and that's obviously typical, right? So most of us as real estate agents, right, we're at an agency. We're not the broker necessarily, right? But what you're going to want to do there, Lori, is you're going to want to have, your name, realtor or real estate agent or whatever it is, and then maybe that dash, like that in that example, right, like Remax Centereach or whatever it is, right?
Okay.
So you're going to want to start with yours and kind of add them on. That will help with your relevance and prominence. But remember, it is about you, you know what I mean? So you're not setting up the profile for broker John, right? It's for you, but you definitely want to mention where you're from kind of in that in that top highlight there, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Denise has a question, but a statement. She would like to sign up for the next ChatGPT class. Do you want to elaborate on when that's happening?
Yeah, so we haven't put that on the schedule yet, but it has been a very big ask from a lot of you out there. So I figure we'll probably have one within the next probably 2 weeks or so. So what I'll do is once we get that set up, we have the attendance of everybody here who joined. So we'll shoot that out to you so you guys know what it is and you can sign up similar to what you did here. That one's a touch longer than this, maybe it goes closer to an hour, but really some amazing content in there. So, we'll definitely look forward to seeing you on that one.
And Sadna has a question. Would we get a copy of the recording for those who were unable to go through it while you were teaching?
Yes, so we did record this presentation, and I can certainly you can have our team send the recording out so you guys can kind of go through it. I definitely think that'll be helpful, and we do plan on doing that. So, we should have all of your information already in terms of your email address from when you registered and signed up. So as long as that email that you gave is accurate, we will shoot this out within probably 24 hours or so of wrapping up the class. So hopefully by, the end of business tomorrow, you guys should, be able to find a copy of it for you to reference.
We have Chanel who raised her hand. If you would feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
Hi, I was wondering, as we're talking, I'm actually updating my LLC, which I do property management.
Very cool.
I'm adding my listing, because I also do sales.
Nice, let's go.
I'm adding my listing as we speak, and I'm like, okay, with eXp Realty, we're allowed to add, use our name, market our own LLC under our company. So I was just wondering, as I'm putting it up and posting it, similar to the question that the woman just mentioned in terms of she's working for a different brokerage. I'm actually putting my listing, and I'm using the realtor.com link.
Yep.
Where it says learn more under the description.
Yep.
Is that doable?
Yeah,
viable?
yeah. It's definitely doable. Yeah, definitely
do.
doable and viable, right? Because it's going to link back to something else that Google could see. So that's great. So even just by putting that there, you're now becoming more prominent. You know, your relevant score is going up with Google just by doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's great. So that's great. Good luck with that.
I can add all my listings to this.
Yeah, get them up. Let's go. Let's go. Sell those bad boys, right? That's what you're there
Thank
for.
you.
Let's go. Let's do it. Awesome. Good work.
Next up, we have Steven, who raised his hand. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there. It was very enlightening for me. I'm basically a converted concert pianist. I love it at heart. Anti-computer person, hate my phone, don't want anybody in the world to know anything about me online. So here I am. I have social media, I have Facebook, I have LinkedIn, I have, you know, whatever, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Question. When I do this account for whatever, I don't even know, not like Facebook, my wife was like, well, let's just do something that says Stephen Wilburn family, so we can put cooking, things about sports, piano, and real estate. Would that be contrary or not congruent with what you're saying? I should put Stephen Wilbur real estate or Stephen Wilbur real something on all of my website, all my social media. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you should, you know, and I think, you know, maybe what you might want to do in this situation, right? If you and your wife want to have that, you know, that Facebook for like family or whatever, maybe you set up another profile, you know, right? So you've got your, you know, Wilbur family Facebook, but then you have Stephen Wilbur real estate, you know, and then that stays consistent with your LinkedIn, you know, your Google profile and stuff like that.
Okay, but I was at a conference this year, and the guy talked about social media. He said you should try to incorporate as many areas that you're, you know, good at on social media, like sports. How can you do that at once, but yet, so that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I get it, you know, it really depends on what your, like what your main focus is, right? So for most of the people on this call, like their main focus is real estate, right? So that's what we're going to be focused on and what we're going to be doing. If you have a separate business, to me, for that relevance and specifically for Google and showing up in search, you're going to want to have them separate, right? So if you were, right, concert pianist is one thing that you do, maybe you rent out halls, you do this, you do that. You want to have like a profile and an experience and an existence online for that. And then you're going to want to have one for the real estate as well.
All right, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Good luck, Steve.
Up next, we have a question from Barbara. I work out of my house. Is it safe to tie the business page to my home address?
Yes. So that's a very good question. And we've had that question before, right? So there is a way, right, in the dashboard, if you put in your home address, like, so let's say you can't get verified at the brokerage address because there's already like 80 people who have it, right? And Google's like, nah, this isn't your address, right? It's already been taken like 1 million times, right? You're at a Keller Williams with 200 people and a bunch of them have already done it. You can put in your home address and there is an option to hide that home address from public view, right? So all you would do is you would put that in so that Google still understands, okay, yes, they live in, you know, Hicksville, New York, right? Or that's where their business is, but you don't have to then necessarily show that to the world, right? So Google will know it and will know where to go, right? And what people to kind of hook up with you, but you just have to make sure you kind of click on hide from public view, and then, you know, that won't go out to the public. Good question, though. We've had it before.
Okay, up next we have Carrie. Sorry,
Hi,
one
Carrie.
second. Do you think it's okay to put your personal address in the Google profile or the broker's personal address? I guess we kind of addressed this.
Right.
The search field searches. Yeah, the search field searches. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for most of us, what we do is we'll put the brokerage address, right? And the only time that we have to deviate from that is, like I said, if for some reason it couldn't be verified or it's already been claimed too many times, you know, then we can kind of put in our address, but just hide it. You know what I mean? You know, Google has a lot of great features where, you know, you can kind of let it know what you want to put out there. So, you might not necessarily want your home address out there. Just put that hide function on there, and that should work out just great for you.
Up next, we have Denise. I believe she has 3 questions, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, I think you guys kind of answered, but it's just like a piggyback off. So, I know you said to mention about a little bit where you work, but what if you change brokerages? So I'm in the middle of thinking of changing brokerages, and I don't have a Google page yet. So,
Right. Yeah, listen, that's obviously a good question, right? And that's going to happen from time to time. So, what we consider the best practice to be is if you're at a place right now, that's what you're going to be doing, right? Put up that as your profile, rock and roll with that. Once you leave that brokerage, get it out. You can either start a new profile or update your profile with the new information, but just make sure you stay consistent and you do that across all of your formats, right? So, listen, if you're thinking about leaving in a week or so, okay, sure, right? Maybe you don't want to put in the work to kind of build a profile right now. At least you have the tools to do so when you do move. But it's something that you're thinking about long-term. Don't sweat it. Do what you have now. When that time comes, you could always do a new profile and start over again, right? Obviously, it'd be great if we could all stay at the same, brokerage or job for our entire life. But occasionally that certainly does not happen, and new and better and different opportunities arise. And it's just going to be about the work of, getting back in there and building that, profile backed up, right? So even if you had to start a new one, you can still take in all your old listing data, start posting the content, right? Put those products up there from your old space, and that will kind of help kind of connect some of that and get you showing back up towards the top again.
and you mentioned something. You said somebody just asked, for me, my office is not. I want to attract business where I live. My office is not where I live. So how should if I put, let's say, eXp Realty, it's in Queens. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get clients where I live. So you said you mentioned the word hide. We can hide our personal address, you said?
Yeah. So when you put in the address in the Google Business Profile, right? So you're going to put the address where you want to be found, right? So if that means whatever, your mom's house in Center Reach, or your house in Nassau County, or you have an apartment in Westchester, wherever, but your realty is eXp in Queens. Put whatever address is closest to the proximity of what you want to serve, and then, like you said, just make sure you're using those privacy features to to hide that, so that people don't know exactly where you live.
Okay, and Google would attract clients that's where I live, right? Even if I hide it. Okay.
Yeah, because they'll know it on the back end, right? Like they'll have that data. They just won't be pushing it forward, right? So when they hook somebody up on a search, they'll say, oh yeah, here, this person is in Manhasset. Great. You know what I mean? I'm going to hook you up with these three because the addresses are there.
Last question, I'm done. Zillow. I've heard Zillow is good for reviews. Should I just send my clients to Google page and not Zillow or Realtor, or should it be all of them?
Loaded question. So, I think for one, it's important to have reviews everywhere, right? So, right, for instance, right, Reliant Home Funding, right? We have reviews on Google, we have reviews on Bankrate, we have reviews on Zillow, we have reviews on verified reviews, right? For me, what I like about Google, and listen, this is just like kind of personal for me. What I like about Google relative to, let's say, like a Zillow, is a Zillow, whether they are already or not, eventually is going to be coming after your business, right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to wind up selling houses themselves. So I never necessarily like helping somebody I know is going to like maybe be my competition, 6 months, 10 months, a year, 10 years from now. So we tend to drive everything towards towards Google, because regardless of what apps, other people use, like dang near every single person knows Google and trusts it. You know what I mean? They might see you on Zillow as well, but what we've done in the past sometimes is, it's 2 links. Hey, anybody who does the 2 links will be introduced to, we'll go into our drawing, right? So you can pop my Google, you can pop my Zillow, and you can certainly do them both. We just like to drive to Google. We like to drive to Google.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for coming. Anybody else? We got a couple minutes left here. If anybody has anything. What's going on, David? How are you, bud?
Wait, we still have a few more questions.
All right, let's go.
Ronaline asks, should we email you to get the recording?
Yeah, you know what? Just to make sure that we have it, let's make sure, you know, if you can, guys, email me, just say, hey, I'd love a copy of the presentation. Okay. My email, you probably already have it from registering and whatnot, but it's my first initial last name. So G Parmiter, right? Parmiter. You probably see that in your team screen. And that's at R is in Reliant, H is in Home, F is in Funding, NY. So at rhfny.com. But again, we're going to try and push it out to everybody too. But, you know, just in case there's a snafu or something, you know, let us know. Like I always tell my wife, she says, oh, I remember you're picking up the kids at whatever time. I said, yeah, text me like a half hour before, right? Just in case. I don't want to get caught out and then they're there and you know, I'm not there and chaos ensues.
Up next, we have Jackie. I'm a real estate broker in Florida and Puerto Rico. Will I be able to connect both companies in one?
You know, that's a great question. I am not certain if you will or not, right? So you might be able to put two different service areas. I believe that's the case, but I think what we're going to have to do here, Jackie, is I think this might be a little bit of trial and error. And if I could, you know, ask you for a favor, when you go in and do that, give me some feedback. You know what I mean? You know, give me an email, give me a call, let me know kind of what happened. And even if, you know, you need to, you want to, right, we can kind of hop on a Teams together, do a screen share. So we can figure it out together if you kind of have any issues there, you know, but definitely, but if you figure out yourself, you know, let us know what happened. We would really appreciate it. And now I know where to go if I need to stay in Puerto Rico for a few minutes, you know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
Up next, we have Eileen. How can I get my Google page verified?
Yeah, so you just got to follow the prompts, right? So you get into that My Business profile there. And when you go to the verification, there's going to be several steps that Google has, right? It's going to say, hey, can we verify your phone number? Can we verify a business listing? Like, can we do a video chat so I can see who you are? It will prompt you for a few different ways to do it, right? So just go about the business of building your profile. The natural progression will be to, you know, to verify, you know, your business.
And that's all the questions I have on my end.
All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it was a lot of fun. I can't thank you guys enough for coming. I'm hoping, can I just get a quick show of hands for who's left? Was this educational? Did you guys think it was well put together? It helped you a little bit? Cool. Okay, great. You know, so we try to do this kind of stuff every so often to, you know, just put out stuff that will help you grow, right? How do you become a better agent? How do you attract more clients? And how do you move yourself forward, you know, in this environment? You know, so we have lots of different classes that we're putting out. You know, we'll continue to do that. And then, you know, listen, if anybody has ideas, right? If you guys have ideas of a class or something that you might want to know about, you know, shoot me a line, right? Shoot me an email, give me a call. You know, let me know what you're thinking and maybe we could collaborate on it and, you know, work together to put something out that, you know, we think can help people, you know,
Greg,
because that's what we want to do.
Just to interrupt you really quick, if anybody else has any follow-up questions, please feel free to email Greg at the email address he supplied with you. I'm sorry we couldn't get to everyone's questions today.
Yeah, and maybe if you can just throw it in the chat so that people have it there, you know, if they miss me spelling it out, Kelly. Kelly will throw it in the chat there so, you know, that you guys can all see it. Okay, but, you know, that was it. Listen, I had a good time with y'all. I hope you guys had a good time with me. You know, really appreciate everybody coming out. And, you know, like I said before, right, Greg Parmiter, one of the founders over here at Reliant Home Funding in Melville, New York, but, you know, in 24 states. And, you know, we're proud of what we've been able to build and our 5-star reviews. If you check us out online, you'll see that Google 5.0, right, over almost 400 or so. You know, and that's the kind of stuff that's important, right? So, you know, we're kind of looking to, you know, be more of a, you know, a partner than a vendor out there to our partners and our real estate agents. So if you guys need anything or need a hand, you know, give us a call and we'd love to help you out. All right. Until next time, we'll see everybody out there again. Be good. Have a great weekend. Take care, guys. Thanks.